Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. We are on today with Leesburg High's weightlifting team, the girls weightlifting team, who are coming off a state championship. We're here with head coach Josh Boyer, and we're also here with Kayla Nord. Thank you both for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you guys are coming off a fantastic season. Coach, you got all the bling there on your hands. Another state championship for you guys, and you did it this year with a very small group of girls, one of the smallest, I think, to ever win the state championships. Describe the year for you this season. You're actually in boys weightlifting season right now, but the girls had a terrific year.
Yeah, the girls, we returned quite a bit of talent from last year. And I think one of the themes that we probably should have, taken the whole season is quality over quantity. And we definitely had high quality lifters that, those that understand scoring kind of saw how this thing was going to play out. And we didn't have the total development of depth that we've had in past years, but our first place finishers were going to be first place regardless of which tournament we were in. So we knew we were going to score big points at state and then be in the hunt for it. Honestly, I kind of envisioned us as state runner-up after seeing all the regional results and doing like a mock scoring. So when we, brought it home, it was just even better. Yeah,
you brought it home to Lake County, and just another one because last year you won the double state championship last year, and you win another one this year. So three out of the last 2 years, which is fantastic. And you won it in an Olympic, and you finished runner-up in traditional as well. What is for people who don't know the difference between Olympic and traditional? What's the difference between the two?
So there's 3 lifts that they compete in at the high school level. The order of lifts goes snatch, clean and jerk, and bench press with a pause. They get 3 attempts at each, and they take your best one from each to create totals. Your best snatch, your best clean and jerk come together and create your Olympic total. Mm-hmm. And then your clean and jerk is what they refer to as an anchor lift. The best clean and jerk is added to your best bench, and those two create your traditional total. And then out of the 10 weight classes, they rank everybody in a tournament setting. Top 6 score points. So you have to place top 6 to score team points. And luckily for us, we have pretty good, finishers at the big meets.
Yeah, you really did. And one of those big finishers, of course, is Kayla Nord. And she's been fantastic the last couple of years here at Leesburg High School. Kayla, you finished 3rd in Olympic and 2nd at traditional at states, coming up just a little bit shy. But you had a heck of a competition season and coming into your final season at Leesburg High School. How would you describe your season?
This year, I would say that it was pretty rough, but I got through it because, like I said, this year there was a lot of things going on mentally. Mm-hmm. But I would say around that December area is where I learned to push through it. So it's pretty good. And also I went up a weight class this year, so that was really different too. Oh my gosh, wait. I was a 54 in the beginning this year. And then I cut down to a 39, and just competing in both of those, it was just a different world. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen a lot of great lifters in the 54 class and the 39 class, but yeah. And I just learned that being a 39 was just better for me overall in terms of body weight and competition and everything else. So, yeah.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself weightlifting? Because I always hear stories about girls getting into weightlifting, and they always learn things about themselves. What is the biggest takeaway?
I would say that I've learned how to be dedicated. I've learned how to devote myself to something and become passionate about something. I also grew a large amount of confidence. When I would say coming into my freshman year, I didn't talk to anybody. I was very shy. I just didn't feel like I was enough. Weightlifting definitely made me feel like I was that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely enough now. I mean, look at you. You look like a pro on here. Coach, when you hear that from Kayla, what does that mean to you?
Well, I was actually at the gym, and this is the summer between her 8th and 9th grade year. and it was a 352 number, and I didn't know it, but I answered it, and it was her mother. Her mother actually sings the national anthems for us before our tournaments, and beautiful voice. Like, she is phenomenal. Like, she's actually become quite popular. Is she going to sing today? But her mom is wonderful, and she started asking questions, introduced herself, and I took the call, and she was on speakerphone, I believe, and then she was eager to start. And Kayla is one of 2 lifters that I've ever had that have never missed one training session ever.
Wow.
In 4 years, and really like almost 4 years in a summer with her incoming summer. There's a couple where she was a little bit late, but she made it. And I mean, I think that was super important to her, and that speaks to the devotion that she's talking about, that she was so dedicated that she absolutely wanted to make sure that she was one of those. And then it showed in her performance, you know. I mean, so everything she said is 100% factual. She was one of the best that we've ever had in so many regards, to her level of dedication, her natural leadership that she just takes upon herself. She's phenomenal, you know, and I'm definitely going to miss, like, not just her numbers. You know, you always miss certain numbers when they graduate because you don't necessarily replace those totals every year. But she brought so much more to the program. And I think one of the things that I tell all of them, and they don't always realize it until their senior year, is that their one duty to the program is to leave it in better shape than when they entered it. And that's every senior's duty. I think we talked about that on the podcast with the boys last year, and or Mia's, I'm not sure, but that's their biggest duty, you know. And I think she did that, you know.
Yeah, you definitely accomplished quite a lot. 9 state medals in your time at Leesburg High School. Absolutely amazing. Second most in school history as well. You competed alongside Nevaeh this year, and she has 10 overall. But between you, 19 state medals. Just incredible thing that you were able to put together. I want to talk, when you called Coach Boyer, what made you want to get into weightlifting?
Okay, so actually I was in South Carolina. I was visiting my best friend. And before then, I had seen on Instagram, there was this person named Sly. He was also a state champion. I saw on his stories, like, weightlifting. And then I saw him post, like, girls' videos. I was like, oh, my gosh, girls can do that, too. That's really cool. And so I was in South Carolina. And then I saw him post, like, a rookie summer training thing. And I just remember we were getting ready for the beach, and my best friend's dad was going to Florida for his job, and I was getting ready for the beach, and I'm like, actually, wait, no, I kind of want to go to Florida so I can do this. So I called my mom, and I'm like, please, can you call this coach? And because I want to do this. And it was just really random. I just thought it was really cool that girls could, like, lift. And so, yeah. And she called him, and we went on a 3-way call. And that right then and there, I was kind of scared to tell my best friend's mom. Like I said, I was really shy. I didn't really like to talk to anybody. And I just told her, I was like, I kind of want to go to Florida. She was like, okay, you got to go to Dwight. Bye. And I'm like, okay. So I rode all the way down there. And then I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday, and there was training on Monday. And I didn't have my physical or anything like that. So I just sat. My mom had to go to work, so I sat in on that Monday session and watched the varsity lifters and everything. And then I lifted the next day. But, yeah.
What's it been like to learn under Coach Boyer the last 4 years?
I think that, well, I want to say that I think he's the best coach ever from all the coaches that I've seen. I would say that he's definitely, like, I would say like a father figure to me and a lot of other girls too. And it's been really, he makes it easier to do the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely he's one of the most decorated weightlifting coaches in Lake County history. You get, of course, the bling on your hands. Look at all of those. To point that toward the camera. Those are some beautiful rings right there. He's got a fistful of rings. But
and I'm starting the other hand with this next ring.
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna get more, and then of course the boys going for double state champions this year as a triple.
Third, yeah, it could be. That one's. I don't know. So we have a shirt. I'm actually wearing it on the back. The title is Building a Dynasty. And we talked about this early in the year, right before I had the shirt made. And I said, what constitutes a dynasty? Like, when can we actually say that without being arrogant and just factual and backing it up. And I don't honestly know where that line is. I don't. So I think I'm going to continue with the building the dynasty because I really don't know the answer to that. What's the definition of it? Like how many can we say, okay, they have a dynasty and it wasn't just a flash in the pan run, which I don't think it is at this point. We're going on 6 years of high level performance. So we're going to continue with that. But I was going to have the new one made after the girls one. This one, but I think I'm going to go ahead and wait for that next shirt until we get through the boys season to see what they do. But yeah, they could win 3 in a row and just huge.
That's huge, especially for Lake County. I mean, you talk about state championship teams within our county. Leesburg just comes to mind. Just what you're building at Leesburg High School is incredible. Between you guys, the villages, South Sumter, weightlifting is just, I think, at an all-time high right now, Coach.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we have so many great lifters come through this area, and Lake County is so well represented, and Sumter County too. When we go to the state meets, there's teams that are actually legitimately worried about what is the Lake County lifters going to do because we came to work, and we're gonna perform and we're gonna do well and we're gonna live in that spotlight and not fold under the pressure. And Lake County's gonna represent very, very well at state championships. So.
Yeah, and you certainly are representing Lake County with pride and passion, and we absolutely love that. Kayla, you have been a part of the building the dynasty the last 4 years, and you came in when Coach Boyer was really building it and bringing it to the front. Now, it's probably the biggest I've ever seen it. Everybody talks about Leesburg weightlifting and the program, wanting to be a part of that. What has it been like to be a part of that the last 4 years?
I think that when I sit back and realize that I was a part of the history of winning state and all of that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I was a part of that. And I think it was great for me to meet all these people, see all these great people, and it's like I'm friends and family with these great people. So I'm really glad that I got to be a part of it the 4 years.
Leesburg has also experienced a comeback, I would say, as well, not just athletically, but academically as well. The school is doing better than it has in, I think, its history. You had a 91% graduation rate last year, which is the highest in school history. Just about 8 years ago, the school was at about a 67% graduation rate. So you think about all the things that have happened at Leesburg High School and the direction that the school is headed in upwards. What has it been like to be a part of Leesburg High School the last couple of years?
I think it's really great. I'm glad that I get to have all those opportunities and, meet all these great teachers and students that, make me push myself further too. So yeah, like an ACE, which is awesome. I'm glad I got to be a part of that. It's given me, I have my ACE diploma. So that's
congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
That's huge.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think specifically talking about ACE and everything, I think being a part of that has helped me get into the school that I'm going to and just excel, and being a part of the weightlifting team and, especially how good they're going. That's helped me too.
And so what are your plans for after high school?
So I'm going to the University of Florida, like Emia.
Congratulations.
Yes. I want to be a dentist. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my plans there. I do want to lift. I'll still do Olympic weightlifting. Mm-hmm. I have not yet spoken to Team Florida Gainesville, but that's likely where I'm going to be lifting.
That's exciting that you have, girls that come through and boys that come through that want to lift after school. And lifting at the collegiate level is gaining ground as well, Coach.
Oh, it's huge. Amia did really well at collegiate nationals. She medaled third.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her first collegiate nationals, and she's kicked in the door and said, "I'm here."
Yeah.
So Mia's fantastic, and it's almost like Coach Smith up there at Team Florida Gainesville's got a lot of Leesburg kids. He's got Lauren Lackey, graduated several years ago. I don't know if she was still here when you came in.
Yeah, my freshman year I actually lifted with her. She was my weight class partner.
Lackey's up there, and she's been training with them. Tim Rodriguez was a phenomenal. His season got canceled by COVID. Mm-hmm. I to this day still think he was going to win state that year. Mia's up there.
Rhea, Logan.
Jessie Meyer. She was a girl in one of our state teams. Logan and Mia and now Kayla. So they're all he's getting an influx of Leesburg kids. So
Yeah, also Sly and Donovan and I think one more. But anyway, they're in Santa Fe, Gainesville too. So
Yeah. So that the health of the program, what you built is terrific. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the health of the program. You go to the state championships and win it with 3 girls total. That is the smallest total, I believe, in history here in the FHSAA, as far as girls go.
For girls, yes.
For girls, winning it with just 3. You brought 5 to states, but you won it with 3. What does that say about your program?
Well, that we're going to produce quality. I think kind of that theme that was unspoken, quality over quantity. It was not by far our deepest team ever throughout the entire stretch of the season. But again, I knew what we had, and I knew what Kayla was going to bring to the table. I knew what Neve was going to bring to the table, and I knew what Mileysa was going to bring to the table. And if we can get anybody else in, great. We want to get them experience and get them used to that spotlight of state, and where all eyes are on them when they're on the platform by themselves. That's a different feeling. It's a different pressure.
It really is.
And for a first-time kid making it to state, they need to experience those things so they're going to be even better for the next one.
What was so you're coming into your now you're a senior, so you're going to be graduating. But what was your favorite memory of all 4 years at Leesburg High School? You made a lot of them. You won 9 state medals. But is there a memory that sticks out to you more than any others?
I wouldn't say a specific memory, but I do love that I made all the friends I made and all the family I made. Most of my closest friends, all of my closest friends are from weightlifting. And another thing I wanted to add, my roommates are both Mia and Rhea for University of Florida, and I met them here. So I think meeting all those great people.
Yeah, how cool is that, Coach? So well said.
Yeah, weightlifting's, I love it because it's unlike other sports. Strength isn't defined by anything. Some people have it, some people don't, and then we can make anyone stronger, but the truly special ones, they just have a little something extra, and it's a part of it's a drive and determination, part of it's just raw athletic ability that we can harness and make a little bit better and sharper, but it knows it doesn't care about anything. 200 pounds is 200 pounds for everybody, and it's just a sport unlike anything else where you will cross every demographic you can possibly imagine, and you're going to find strong, successful lifters everywhere.
Well, Kayla, congratulations on a terrific career at Leesburg High. So good luck at the University of Florida. Very exciting for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on the Sports Hub. We'll come back with more with Leesburg weightlifting next.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Hey, everybody. We are back here on the Sports Hub. We're talking with Mileysa, Lebron, Escudero, and Coach Boyer with Leesburg Girls Weightlifting, coming off of a state championship this season. Mileysa, welcome to the program. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you are coming off of a double state championship in the 101-pound class. What a season for you. Congratulations. Just describe the season a little bit for me.
The season was honestly smooth sailing, comp-wise, because I was training through for the most of it. It was more of a mental struggle that was like, in the background, it was like a mental struggle. But comp-wise, it was more of smooth sailing. I just kind of had to handle my own thing and in my own time. But it was good. I still had a really good season, and it was really fun.
Yeah, you dominated this season, winning by sometimes 70 pounds or more in a lot of classes. What made you so dominant this season? Because I mean, you came in and man, it was just one lift after another, and you were competing out there, and eventually won both state championships. What made you so dominant this season?
Well, I kind of grew. My numbers grew really fast. I joined my sophomore year, and then it was just up from there. And then my partner last year was Caitlin Brady, and competing alongside with her it just kind of set the standard for me. And then I just had to set it even higher after she graduated.
Yeah, Caitlin Brady, a former champion in the 101-pound class and doing great things, and potential that we might see her in the Olympics one day, which we'll see there. Do you have any Olympic aspirations yourself? What comes after this year?
I hope so. I hope I make it to the Olympics one day, maybe.
Yeah. And you were originally from Puerto Rico, and you came over to the United States in the second grade. How did you end up at Leesburg High School?
Well, it was kind of, my mom was just looking for a job, and we just ended up in Orlando. From there, my stepdad's job moved around as well, so we had to move, and I ended up living in Lady Lake. Mm-hmm. And then the closest school was Leesburg. And now I live in Mount Dora, but I still go to Leesburg High School.
Yeah, and it's a great school and a great program. And talk a little bit about this young lady right here. What a thrill it was to watch her this season.
Yeah, and watch her develop. She's actually being really modest right now. She also set the state record for snatch and Olympic total this year, and she crushed it. She broke the state record in snatch by 10 pounds and the Olympic total by like 15, I think. So she's just a talent, she really is. She's phenomenal. And she downplays it, but I guess part of her modesty is part of her appeal as well. So she's just absolutely talented. So watching her grow, when we met, I was outside the weight room in between classes, or maybe right after school, I'm not sure, but there was no class, and I was talking to a coach out in front on the sidewalk, and this little thing walks up, and then I'm like, you can tell by one look that she fits a certain mold and she's going to be a 101. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, she said, I want to start weightlifting. And I don't know how, I don't know what sparked it. To this day, I still don't. But that was the start of our conversation and in our relationship ultimately. So I said, well, we need to get on the scale, and this is what you need to do, athletic clearance and the physical and the whole nine, and everything they have to go through. And she did it, and we got started, and then she got to live out 2 seasons under Caitlin and watch Caitlin win, 3 golds?
Yeah.
And then she won traditional last year, and everybody thought that both her and Caitlin graduated. Caitlin got a lot of attention, and they didn't even realize, like, she was almost invisible to come into the season.
Right.
I mean, nobody realized it. They knew Brady had graduated, and then they're like, who is this? And I was like, well, she was the traditional 101 state champ last year. And I was like, she was also the state runner-up in Olympic. And I mean, it spreads fast, social media and the whole nine, and no numbers are hidden. And they knew about her in no time. And like she said, she pretty much trained through the whole year until we had to push to really test her numbers to see what she was capable of. But it was the goal all along for her to break those state records.
And she unofficially broke it earlier in the year, but it doesn't count until you get into competition season. And then you ended up breaking it. What does it mean to have those state records? That must mean a lot to you.
It's just like I hit a milestone. I've always, ever since I joined the sport, I wanted to hit big numbers at my age. At least for senior year, I wanted to at least snatch a plate. I wanted to clean and jerk like at least 125. I used to set my bar to like that point in my first year, and then I realized that I'm like, wow, I'm really capable of doing this, and have a lot more that I'm capable of. So
yeah, we'll witness that in the next couple of years, as well as the Olympic qualifications coming up in the next couple of years as well, as you have Olympic aspirations coming up in the next couple of years. But you mentioned Coach Boyer. What's it been like to learn under him the last couple of years? Because you got into the sport and you just excelled.
Well, he's always been a good role model to the whole team. Like, I agree with what Kayla said earlier. She said that he was a lot like a father figure, and I agree. He was just a great coach, and he made sure that I was healthy. He made sure that I was, he knew what I was capable of this whole time, even when I couldn't see and if I didn't understand it. I trusted him as a coach, and that's just what it was. It was just like a trust. You had to trust the process.
What were the biggest challenges to overcome this season? Because Kayla mentioned that it might not have been the most deepest team that you've had in years past. Last year's team was pretty deep, but you lost a couple of key weightlifters last year who graduated. But you come back and you were still able to win as a team a state championship this year. So that's got to mean a lot to you.
Yeah, well, I felt like sometimes I just, like for instance, I got like slight injuries, but they bothered me a lot when I lifted. And that's why, it's part of the reason why I trained through a lot, so that at state I could have been healthy. And that's what I mean by trusting the process with Boyer, because he made sure I was healthy for state. So I feel like the fact that I got injured, I mean, they weren't big injuries, but they definitely bothered me when I lifted. So I feel like that mentally messed up in my head a little bit. But yeah, I think that was just it.
Yeah, but you fought through it and double state champion once again. You've had so much success at the 101 pound level. What makes those girls, how do you have so much success at that level? Because this is like year, 3 or 4 in a row that you've had a state champion in that division.
It was a 6-year stretch.
Yeah.
I just fortunate. I mean, honestly, like when you find a good 101, I mean, I had one college coach call her a unicorn, and they are. When you find a good one, and we've had a stretch. I mean, Crystal Howison kicked it all off for us in 2019. Then we had Deleon Cruz, and then Caitlin Brady for several, and now Mileysa, and we've just dominated in the 101 class. And that in itself has been a dynasty in that weight class alone. But I don't know. I just think you can find strength in every weight class. And we've just been very, very fortunate of finding the right ones to fill that void and develop. And like she said, trust the process, because it is a process. I mean, there's so many layers to becoming a state champion or championship material that go into it. And you have to trust through the good and the bad, that is not every day is going to be like PRs, and the boys think that the girls understand that that's not how it works. But trusting that process is critical, and I think their mindset going into it really helps them reach potential.
For you going forward, now of course you're a senior and you were a leader of the team. You're going to be graduating. What's your future hold? What are your future plans?
Well, I actually committed to a college in Puerto Rico last week, and they offered me a full ride for competing.
Wow.
For them, and that's my plans for the future. I'm just gonna compete for them and hopefully represent Puerto Rico and Pan Ams and maybe reach the Olympics.
That's exciting, Coach, to have a girl that wants to do that. Not the only one that's come through and had those aspirations as well, but one of the just top weightlifters we've ever seen at Leesburg High School.
Yeah. And I think somebody that I'm going to put her in touch with is one of the former lifter we had named Rashik Patel. Right now, he went to Canada and won Canadian Nationals, and he's in the pool. And I haven't spoken with him for a while, but he's very familiar with the whole Olympic qualification process, and hopefully Rashik has added what he needed to his total to make Team Canada for the Olympics coming up, either this cycle or the next cycle. So we've had just phenomenal lifters, developed, and I think it's really important to understand like their training age and what they need to develop during these years to be ready for that next step when they, start working at that international level.
What makes Mileysa? What makes her such a good competitor?
Well, I mean, some people just have it. It's just something, I don't know. You call it the it factor.
Yeah.
Some people just have it. And I think she set a certain bar when she started, and then realized I'm very capable. And then I think once you reach those bars early on and start attaining goals, it makes you just a little bit hungrier. And then all of a sudden you just keep raising the bar and you keep exceeding your expectations in your mind, your mental blocks. And then next thing you know, you just become a top-notch lifter.
And your family was able to attend the state championships in Lakeland, which was really exciting for you. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it was a surprise. I mean, I knew my grandparents were going to come over, but my dad surprised me. So, yeah, it was really exciting for them to see me. They had never seen me before.
Wow.
I live with my mom and my mom only, and the rest of my family's in Puerto Rico. So I go there every summer for vacation. and just to see them. But they never saw me compete before, so that was really nice. And I'm glad I was able to break those state records in front of them, just show off a little bit.
Yeah, that's so cool that you were able to do that in front of your family. That must have meant the world to see that, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got to meet her grandma before the session started, and and then so she knew that her grandparents were coming, and like she said, her dad was a surprise. And I don't really understand what it must feel like just living vicariously through videos and seeing, the performance that she has on videos, because they don't do justice to the intensity of the situation, like firsthand. And for them to be there in that moment when she's handling it like business as usual, and she's healthy and feeling good and bars moving fast and everything's on point, and then she goes and breaks state records. I mean, it has to be such a wonderful feeling for them to be able to come and see that in person, But yeah, we've had tremendous success with our one-on-ones. DeLeon Cruz, I was during the break, one of our former state champs, she came back to visit not too long ago, and asked her where her family was originally from. And ironically, Mileysa's family, but this particular area is like the exact same spot where her family's from, DeLeon's family's from. And I just thought that was so weird. Like, what are the odds that I get two kids that know nothing about, weightlifting, and then they come and they both develop into state champions from the exact same small little area that I've never heard of.
How cool is that, though? That you come from the same area, and you were able to do amazing things with Leesburg High School. Now, obviously, you're a senior. What is your favorite memory at Leesburg High School? I mean, a lot of people have mentioned state championships. You broke the state record. There's so many things that you've accomplished in your career at Leesburg High School. But what is one of your favorite things that you've done?
My favorite things that I've done is just joke around in the weight room. Like, we're always laughing around. We're always having a lot of fun. And I think, but my favorite moment in general, I think it was probably last year at state. I think that team was just really fun. I think we have like a lifelong friendship with that team. And so winning state with them was really great. And I think winning state with the seniors this year was also really good. So.
Yeah, a little bit smaller of a team this year, but you pulled it off. Absolutely incredible efforts. There were so many records broken this year. I mean, not just from her, but your other lifters on the team, and just to go to states and win it with three first time that's ever been done. Can you sum up the season for us and what we can expect going forward for you, Coach?
Well, we'll have some talent returning, and I think the sophomores now are going to end up being pretty good, whether that's next year or the year after, I'm not sure. I think we honestly need a very strong recruiting class to fill that gap. So once the sophomores now are seniors, we don't have a gap year, just like any program. So the recruiting class coming up is going to be very, very important. So that's the outlook for the future. As far as this season, it was a test of my patience. Not in like a negative way. It was people saying, the comments of, are you guys down? Are you guys not the same? Are you this and that? And I was just have to say in the back of my mind, like, we'll see at state, because we'll drop certain tournaments. We just don't have the depth, We'll get beat in certain scenarios where, teams are scoring in weight classes that we just don't have developed lifters in yet. And it's part of the nature, But when we get to state and all the strong kids come to town, we were going to prove our point and do what we do and perform very, very well at state. And we did that. So our goal now has gravitated. I remember early on in building the program years ago, you go through these echelons of goals. And originally it was, we want to be really good at districts. And then we got our first regional championship, and it was, okay, now we want to perform really well at regionals. And then we got close in 19 and 20 with those state runner-up teams, and it was like, all right, the trophies get a little bit bigger each step, right? And now we want to collect big trophies, and that's our goal. So if we don't, have the score for winning the district, it's not the end of the world at all, because our eyes are going to be on that state trophy from now on. That's the ultimate goal. So I understood that going through. I think they did as well, because they knew what they were going to do. They were going to bring big medals. And then, I think my new catchphrase this season has become big total score, big points, and big meets. And that's just what we're gonna do from now on. Whether it's 3 or 8 like last year, we're just gonna try to produce as many medalists as possible to go after those big trophies at state.
Well said, Coach. Last question I have for you is, you're coming into your senior year. You're pretty much done at Leesburg High School. You're going on to college, which is really exciting for you. But for young girls getting into the sport, what is your advice to younger girls who are wanting to become weightlifters?
Please do not doubt yourself. I think before I joined the sport, like for instance, my freshman year, Kayla wanted me to join the sport, and I didn't join because I just had a lot of self-doubt. I thought I'm weak, I'm too skinny, I'm not going to be able to do it. And so just having self-doubt is you're your biggest enemy. So I feel like you need to grow confident in yourself, and you need to learn that you're really capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. So that's what I say.
Amazingly said, and I want to thank you guys for coming on to the program.
And just one thing, if I can add real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
The misconceptions about the sport. A lot of people have misconceptions, and as you can see, she's obviously a girly girl, and there's a lot of misconceptions that they're going to get big and bulky like men and things of that sort, and that is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth, that they're still going to be little ladies, but they're going to be phenomenal in competition. So they will develop strength, and they won't look like those pro bodybuilders on the stage, okay? So I think that's probably another huge thing for anybody incoming that may have a misconception or have their ears filled with misconceptions. It's just not true.
Well, we want to congratulate you on a fantastic year, both of you, and as well as Kayla, who was on with us earlier this season. What a year for you all, and best of luck on your future as well in Puerto Rico.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's going to wrap things up this week on the Sports Hub. Want to thank our partner, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. We'll see you on the next edition next week on the Sports Hub. Thanks for joining us.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopedics.